Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Madam, like madam, start பண்ணிருங்க.
Okay, sir. Life and time are the world's best teachers of us. The use of time and the time teaches the value of life. Good morning, one and all connected with us in this 59th National Pharmacy Week celebration and National Webinar Series 45 on the topic Generic Product Development, organized by the Department of Pharmaceutical Chemistry, JKK Nadaraja College of Pharmacy, supported by IIC and IPA Bhavani Kumarapalayam local branch. This pleasant morning, we have Mr. Amit Ramesh Bakwar, Assistant General Manager, MSN Laboratories Private Limited, Hyderabad, with us to enlighten us with his knowledge gained through his experience. I request Dr. M. Vijayabhaskaran, Professor and Head of the Department of Pharmaceutical Chemistry, to welcome the listeners. Please, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Good morning, everyone. A warm welcome and a fresh morning to everyone gathered here. It's my honor and privilege to welcome our most respected chairperson, madam, young and dynamic director for our National Webinar Series 45, Generic Product Development, organized by Department of Pharmaceutical Chemistry in association with Institutions Innovation Council, Indian Pharmaceutical Association, Bhavani Kumarapalayam branch. It's my pride and pleasure to welcome our speaker, today's speaker, Mr. Amit Bukawar, Assistant General Manager, Complex Injectable Development, MSN Laboratories Private Limited, R&D Center, Telangana. And it's my pride and proud to say, so he is an alumnus of our institution, MPharm first batch, has completed in the year of 2006. I would like to thank Mr. Amit, for accepting our invitation, for taking his precious time out and gracing the occasion. Welcome you, Mr. Amit Bukawar. It's my pride and privilege to welcome Dr. T.V. Narayana sir, IPA President, and Mr. Sesai sir, IPA, for this webinar series, and thank Narayana sir and Sesai sir for providing IPA Zoom license for conducting webinars through this platform, which will be more profitable and benefitable and fruitful for everyone present here. Thank you, sir. I take this opportunity to welcome our beloved principal for the webinar series 45. He supports us in many ways unimaginable, not only helping us with the ideas, but also with the execution of those ideas and giving necessary moral support. Welcome you, sir. It's my pleasure to welcome our vice principal for this webinar. He is always guiding us and supporting us for conducting this webinar series. Welcome you, sir. It's with tremendous pleasure that I welcome all the HODs, colleagues, dear students and delegates, participants who come this online platform across the country to present their views on this topic. At last, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to all of you who sincerely committed to this webinar to make it a success. This webinar would have been impossible without the support of each and everyone present here. Thank you and welcome one and all. Now I would request Ms. P. Lekha to introduce our today's speaker, Mr. Amit Bukawar. Lekha, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. It's my immense pleasure to introduce our today's webinar speaker, Mr. Amit Ramesh Bakwar, Assistant General Manager, MSN Laboratories Private Limited, Hyderabad. Sir have completed his diploma in pharmacy from BTE Mumbai in 2002, then graduated B.Pharm from Amaravati University in 2004, and completed his postgraduate in the Department of Pharmaceutical Chemistry from Dr. MGR University, Tamil Nadu in 2006. Sir have started his career in the year 2007 as a group leader for formulation development in injectable dosage form for US, Europe, and Rome market at Cipla R&D Center, Mumbai. He also worked as senior scientist from December 2014 to December 2018 at Dr. Reddy's Laboratory Limited, Hyderabad. And currently, he is working as Assistant General Manager for Complex Injectable Department for Development of Complex Injections for US, Europe, and Rome market, including China, at MSN Laboratories Private Limited, Hyderabad from December 2018. The achievements are like he had successful technical presentation with Anvisa team at Anvisa office Brazil for product-specific biowaiver approach for oncology injectable formulation and consideration in generic filling category instead of new product which significantly save cost and time for product approval in the year April 2017. And he was a delegate at Singapore for conference on technology in pharmaceutical application arranged by Thermo Fisher Scientific and DBASF at Republic Polytechnic Singapore in the year June 2010. He have good exposure on software and computer proficiency such as SAP, Lotus, Minitab, electronic lab notebook as part of regular developmental activity. With this brief note introduction, it's my privilege to welcome you for our today's webinar. Welcome you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Hello,
Yes,
can I start, sir?
audible.
Audible, sir. Dear participants, don't
yes.
click on the screen. Dear participants, யாரோ ஸ்கிரீன்ல கிறுக்கவோ ஏதோ நோட்ஸ் எடுத்து ஜஸ்ட் கிறுக்க பண்ண வேணாம் சார், ஸ்கிரிபிள் பண்ண வேணாம்ப்பா. You can start, sir.
Hello,
Yes, you can start, Amit.
I am audible, sir?
It's audible.
Okay. First of all, good morning to all and all the JKK Nataraja staffs and students. It's a pleasure for me to be a part of speaker or your annual functions. And because as a part, I am the alumni and first batch of this JKK Nataraja College. And I thanks to Dr. Sambat sir, Vijay Bhaskar sir, and all the JKK Nataraja staff to be giving this opportunity to be present as a speaker. Maybe I may not be that much big person, say as a speaker, but whatever maybe today I am in a position in industry, there is a lot of contribution from the JKK Nataraja team. Specifically, I would like to thanks to Dr. Sambat sir, Vijay Bhaskar sir, Dr. T. Shikumar sir and T. Shikumar sir, who are the guide and co-guide for me when I was in a JKK and Nataraja College in pharmacy. And also I would like to say thanks to P. Perumal sir, who is the principal in that time. So a lot of contribution from their side. So whatever it may be, knowledge we have, there is a lot of contribution from the JKK Nataraja team. So thanks to all of this. So we will start our discussion on the generic product development. When we are saying as a generic development, there is a some mind comes in mind that what is a generic and what is a brand. So basically that we started, sometimes people are misunderstanding generic means not a good quality. It's not like that. Generic is equivalent with your brand. So when we are saying is a generics, so what is meant by generics? Generics product essentially identical to the brand name. So you can say the innovator or reference registered product in the FDA. So in terms of active ingredient, dosage form, route of administration, and quality, safety, efficacy, and performance of the characteristics, which is all are equivalent with the brand name. So this is a thinking that generic is not a good quality, is not the right thing specifically for the regulatory purpose. So when you are saying is generic, is always equivalent with the your branded drugs or innovator drugs. All the parameters of quality, mostly as quality and safety and efficacy of the drug. When the generics we are developing, so equivalent to brand drug. So brand drug has to be required to be a lot of contributions from the 10 to 20 years to be identify the molecules. Lot of study is required, just like a clinical study, preclinical study. In clinical study, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and phase 4. So in that, lot of cost is involved. But in front of that, in generics, we don't require to be a preclinical study. We don't require extensive clinical study of phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. We just want to be equivalence study. So pharmaceutical equivalence is the bioequivalence that is equivalent to your innovator. So that's the reason a lot of cost is saving in the generic drug, and that's the reason the cost of generic drug is less compared to brand value. And further, when the 1 or 2 competitors come in a market, ultimately your cost of drug is going to be downside than the other market or other branded. So that's the reason that when the competitor come in the market, they will start with your price reductions. What is meant by the branded generic? There is one term is also came in the picture. That what is a branded generic? So branded generic is a drug at a new formation of not patented. There is a patented for every patent, every drug which is innovator. So which is a off patented drug sold either by the manufacturer or the patent drug or by the generic company that built up the brand equality for their generic version for the medicine. When you are saying is a paracetamol, there is a Dolo user. This is a brand. It's a generic, but it's a branded generic. So this type of drugs are there in the market, which is a branded generics. So when you are saying is a pharmaceutical market, or when you are saying the industrial pharmaceutical market, we should know what is the revenue of this generics, or what is the revenue of this brand product, what is the revenue of this medicine in the worldwide. So just I'm taking some theoretical values. So in 2001, the total global pharmaceutical market is 367 millions. Okay, in 2001, the total pharmaceutical market to 367 millions, which is 1.25 trillion in 2019. So if you say the growth of this pharmaceutical development is 4 times in last 19 years or last 18 years, and out of this 1.25 trillion, the 30% contribution from the generic drug. Obviously, branded has a more cost, the revenue will be more. But when you sell the generics, the cost is less. Still, they are having the 30% contribution of your total, which is equivalent to 390 billions in the total of the 1.2 trillion. Saying when you are again asking for the generic drug, so generic drugs generally classified in a three ways. One is a very simple generics. When you are saying the simple generics, very simple, just like immediate release tablet or clear solutions or injections or oral liquid. And there is a second complex generic, or you can say a super generics. There is a complex product which just like a liposome or a new technology, microspheres, or you can say nanospheres, like that the technology where you require a time to develop, where you require specific kits for the development, and also you require to be a bioequivalence study. In a simple generics, you don't require any bio study, but in complex generics, you require a bio study which shows the equivalency of your drug with the branded in a patient or in a healthy volunteers. And third is the biosimilar. Now the biosimilar is coming very high in the market, where you can say the biologics came in a picture than your pharmaceutical. We are the pharmaceutical development and they are the biological development, which is still the highest cost and required time. Still, the market is going to be increased. In 2019, the total generics is $290, okay, in billion, and 2027 is expected to be double. That is nearly $360 billion in 2070. You can say that in 10 years span, we are going to be double our generic revenue from the market. So that's the future of your generic at least in India. So when we are seeing the pharmaceutical development, the branded versus generic. So brand pharmaceuticals is two stage. One is your active ingredient, you can say the API. Second is the formulation. So API is also branded as a generic, as well as pharmaceuticals are branded also generic. So these 4 types we should keep in mind. So next is when you are saying as a generics, when and how do the generics come into the development and the market? So when and how do generics come into the development and the market? So innovators which are extensive drug development in their field. So it will take nearly 5 to 10 years for the development. And when he is involving that much cost, that much risk, because every molecule can't be successful. So he's doing an NCE, new chemical entities, and then the formulations. A lot of cost and risk is involved. So when you are doing that much risk and cost, he definitely filed the patent. And generally, the patent will be nearly 20 years for its from this filing, and additionally 5 years exclusivity for some of the countries. So nearly 25 years he secured his life for the when we are developing is the new chemical entities. So when this is new chemical entities will come in the picture, generic companies also will come in the picture. So when is any new molecule came in a market, generic people are starting for his thinking and the development. So for that, because the cost is taken by the branded one, so generic can't be coming in the second day of the innovator, right? So for that, what he will do, he will give the exclusivity to the patented drug for at least 5 years, means NC minus 1. You can say up to 5 years, nobody came in a picture in a market to launch his product. So 5 years exclusivity he will get. Additionally, 1 or 2 years from the different criteria of the drug, just like a orphan drug, it will get 2 years more, or pediatric 6 months more. Like that, it will having some special privilege to the special category of drug. So you can think about the normal, it will be definitely 5 years. So NC minus 1 means you can file the product 1 year before the NC date. Means if he is having 5 years exclusivity, 1 year minus means 4th year you can file the product, but the approval can be get into 5 years later. After that also, if it is a patented drug, you can't launch the product in the market unless until patent is there. Means you have to wait for the 15 years or 20 years to expire the drug, then only you can be a market. There is a different way, para 1, para 2, para 3 or para 4 type of product. There is different clause. So I will not go in detail of that. The thing is that when you are in a generic, we should be at least wait for the 4 to 5 years to be launched in the product for the market as a part of generics against your innovator drug. So now we'll see the drug development and the approval process. So how the drug development is happened and how the approval is happened for the branded one, innovator product. So when you are identify any of the molecule, you will formulate API and you formulate your formulation. Once you formulate it, you need to go for the preclinical study. In preclinical study, what it will be a new drug development, whether it's a new one, yes. If it is a molecule is effective than the previous molecule or any other molecule, it should be yes. And then it should be less side effect. Means there is some advantages over your old molecule, or it's a completely new molecule also, it's fine. And when these all are completely saying as yes, you should be doing for the preclinical study in the animal, as rabbits, dogs, whatever it may be, in the protocol what they are going to be decided, that you need to be finalized. And there you are evaluating the animal toxicity, damages, or other concerns are there. Anything is there. If everything looks fine, it means that drug is ready for testing in human being. You can't go directly for human being. First, you need to test for the animal study, that you can call as a preclinical study. Then we are going for the clinical study. So in clinical study also, there is 3 pages before approval. This is a phase 1, phase 2, or phase 3. Nowadays, you will heard a lot of things about the corona vaccines in phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. So like that also, this is the clinical testing where you are doing a clinical phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3 study. In a phase 1 study, there is a first time in a human, and it will be done in a human healthy volunteer, and it's a very small size, just like 10 to 15 or 30 up to 100 healthy volunteers. If you in that study, if you feel that this safety is not a concern, there is no about any harms or adverse reaction, then we go for the phase 2 study where you can do a increased number of healthy volunteers. You can say are up to 200 or 500, like that, depend upon the study, where you evaluate again the toxicity as well as safety and efficacy of your drug. If everything looks fine, then you can go for the bigger study, which you call as a phase 3 study. In that, the number of patients, or it may be healthy, depend upon the drug. If it is an anti-cancer drug, so it should be always in a patient. You can't go for the healthy volunteers. If it is a normal drug, you can be a healthy volunteer. But the number of subjects will be from 200 to 4,000 or 10,000, depend upon the study and its criticality, where you can evaluate your efficacy in a compositions, and you will monitor. If you found all these studies, phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3 is good, you are going, it means that you can file this dossier to the regulatory for the approval. Just like India, it's a DCGI. In US, it's called a US FDA. In Europe, it's a MHRA, and in Australia is a TGA. These are the regulatory bodies where you can file your products as a dossier with all this data. They will evaluate your approval, all your dossiers, and based upon that, they can give you the clearance that you can proceed for the launch. So it means that this drug, after regulatory approval, is ready to be injected or ready to be administered to the patients. So after launch, it is called as the 4th stage of your development, is the post-marketing. Once you market your drugs, you need to monitor post-marketing surveillance. You need to monitor the adverse reactions or any observation study or phase 2 study, phase 4 study, where you will get the data, and based upon that evaluation of 1 year, 2 years, again you can prove that your drug is good and is healthy, is safety and efficacy. then you can generate a data, you can get a clearance. So that's the whole cycle of your innovator product development and your approval. So against to that, we will go with the generic approval process. So in generic approval process, you need not to be go for preclinical study. You need not to be go for extensive clinical study. Okay, so these all are going to be out when you are seeing a generic product, specifically for injectable doses form. When you are in a Q1, Q2, it means that your qualitative, quantitative formulation is equivalent. It means that you are bioequivalent, so no need to be required for all this study. So where you saving your cost, and that cost in the market, you can sell your product in the less compared to your brand name, right? Hello.
Yes.
I'm audible, sir.
Audible. Proceed.
Okay, fine. So when you are seeing as a generic product, so preclinical clinical study is not required. You can file your products based upon your data. Can you go for the slide number 7, sir? Hello.
Sir,
Yeah, tell me. Audible.
Yeah, can you display the slide number 7?
Slide number 7. Kannan?
Yeah. Next. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Just previous one.
Previous. Okay.
Yeah, this one. Thanks. So when you are seeing a generic approval, so you will not require to be preclinical and clinical study with the help of your equivalency data, which what you are developing the your lab model and your process validation batches, all the parameters. You can directly submit your dossier for the approval, and based upon your approval, based upon your assessment, they can go for the directly launch, and you need not be required a post marketing surveillance in extensive way. Normal way is required just for adverse reaction and patient registration. So this is ready. So that's why the cost, most of the cost is removed, and that's the reason you can get a generic drug in a low cost market. When you are saying is why it is preclinical and clinical studies not required when you are going with generics, there is a reason that as per the regulatory body, that's a pharmaceutical equivalence, means your physicochemical parameter of your dosage form, just like assay, impurities, descriptions, and all these things when is equivalent, plus your bioequivalence. Bioequivalence means when you are saying is a bioequivalence, you can compare your study with the healthy volunteers or patients against your branded and generics. So bioequivalence study will do, you will not do extensive phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3 study. That is mostly for the oral dosage form. For injection, when you are saying is a clear injection, it's a solution. We are in a any qualitative and qualitative. So you can say is a Q1, Q2 is matching. Then for injection, we did not require bio study, but yes, when you are doing a extended release doses form in injection, just like suspension, emulsions, nanoparticles, or which is having a sustained release. In that case, yes, bioequivalence is required. And when you are seeing the pharmaceutical equivalence and your bioequivalence, it means that you are therapeutically equivalent to your generic, your branded drugs. So you can exemption from the long and extensive phase 3 studies. You can go directly by equivalent study, and you can get a dossier for the approval purpose from the regulator. So next is, then we are saying when you are saying is the generic, so it means that there should be some similarity with the branded, and there may be some way off where you can be differences from the branded. When you are saying is a regulatory filing, just like Europe and US and ROW market, what are the similarities required when you are compared with the generics and the branded one? So there are some points, just like you should be a same active ingredient and amount of active ingredient in the your dosage form. So when you are saying comparison with branded versus generic, what are the dosage form you are going to develop? It should be active ingredient should be same. Means if you are developing paracetamol tablet, it should be paracetamol and equivalent quantity of paracetamol in the that tablet dosage form. And the same pharmacokinetic and pharmacodynamic properties, same stability, means you can say that if your branded is a 24 months, so you how to develop a 24 months stability, and that should be as per the ICH guideline, minimum 6 months of your long term of your storage condition, and extended minimum 6 months. So that should be equivalent to your with your branded one. And the same mechanism of action, safety, and efficacy, and same therapeutic indication and route of administration required when you are saying as a generic compared to the branded one. Then, sorry. Hello.
Sir, audible, sir. Audible, sir.
Yeah. Any questions from that?
Questions we will ask you in, after the completion. No problem.
Okay. I thought somebody raised a concern. That's why I just stopped. Okay, fine. So we'll proceed. So these are the similarities which when we saying as a requirement, and what are the dissimilarities where you can be divert from your branded. So in a salt form, means if you are anybody is working on hydrochloride form, you can do a anhydrous form, or you can different salt form is just like polymorphism is there. So you can use a different salt or from the API which is other than your branded, and there may be some excipients you can play with just like in tablet, color, flavor, preservative, and in a injectable dosage form, antioxidants, buffer. You can change this buffer. Will not be having because they already generate a safety data long of years. So you can change this excipient in your generic form. And there may be change in the size, shape, or scoring. When you are developing a tablet, you can change the size, you can change your size scoring, you can change your shape, even though you can change your color for the generic drug. And there is a different product expiry. Means if brand is having a 24 months, and if you are having the 30 months, 36 months stability data, you can file that expiry date. If somebody we are having the less amount of expiry, just like 24 months, you can still file for the 15 or 18 months. That will depend upon your product. Only challenge in the marketing will be that when your branding is 24 months and you are selling is a 15 or 18 months, there may be a challenge from the regulatory or marketing point of view. But as a regulatory point of view, it will be approved from your products. Will not be any rejection for the filing. And again, you can obtain your different manufacturing process. If somebody is developing the product by lyophilization process, I can do spray drying process. Somebody is having the hot melt extrusion, still I can go by spray drying, or it's a normal conventional measure. So manufacturing process can be different from the generics and branded, but it should be equivalent with the therapeutic equivalency with your branded one. And again, there may be a different packaging materials, just like in a injections. You can say the innovator or branded products available in ampoule form. Still, you can file the product or develop the product in a vial form or in a PFS form. So packaging material, specifically primary packaging material, can be different from the branded one. Will not be any issues to be filed as a generic drug. But one thing, keep in mind that for salt and excipient, unless they are different significantly in their safety and efficacy properties, the generic manufacturer has to be submit further proof of efficacy and safety. So if you are using any significant different excipients or salt or anything, additional data has to be generated, and that should be evaluated by the regulatory authorities. So all these criteria, when you are saying, you can be a file for these generics instead of branded one. So next we will go with then how you select your generic drugs. What is the selection procedure for the generics? So there are some certain bullet points where you can say current market sale of the innovator product. You can evaluate by the there is a business development team in any company. So when I'm doing further in the development or this presentations, the students who are attending, even the staff, they can keep in mind that there is a different department working in a different industry. So specifically for students who are attending, they should be keep in mind that when different department involved in generic, there is scope of each department. So you can evaluate where you are fitting in after your completion of M.Pharm, D.Pharm, or whatever the education you are doing. For that, if you are interested to go for the generic industry, you can see evaluate that which is the perfect department for you. In a generic, there is a lot of department: regulatory, development, analytical, and PMOs. All these departments will come packaging. So you need to evaluate right now, thinking about the what is the what is your scope, where you are interested to go for that. So when I'm seeing the product development, how the selection, there is a one business development department is there who are evaluating the product for the development. So how he's evaluated based upon the current sale of the innovator. And next is when it's going to be patent or exclusivity time frame. If it is a 20 years later, you can develop the product. So there is no point of this development right now. If it is 4 or 5 years there, you can start the development. For generic, it will take hardly 2 to 3 years to develop, and if it is a complex one, 5 to 7 years. So there is some point to be invested right now for a generic development. If it is you are going to 20, 25 years later, you don't know what is the cost of in 25 years. There is no point of developing the right now this product. So this also you need to see that, keep in mind when you are going for development, patent and study should be important. Next is, what is the complexity of the products? It is a really complex. Just as liposome, you can't develop within a one night. Rome can't build in a one show. So that's why you should be keep in mind your development should be complexity. The complexity should be evaluated, and the cost is involved in the development of the complex drug product. Specifically, when I'm working in the complex developed product, I should be keep in mind what is the time required for the complexity, how much complexity of this product, whether I have that much skill to develop this type of products, and second thing is that whether I am having that capabilities, instrumentation, and manpower to develop this type of complex product. So that should be keep in mind when you are selecting of the products. Next is whether you are having the right APIs, whether it is in-house API, active pharmaceutical grades, or you are going for the expertise or other part. Next is, what is the competitors? You need to keep it always when you are running in the race. You should look at where is the position of your competitors. So you need to evaluate how are the competitors are working, where is their stage, whether they are very advanced stage or they are going to be start, where we are when we are buying the product. Because when you are in a first or second generics, there is a value. If you are 10 or 12 generic, there is no value. You will not get more than 5% share. When there is no market share, there is no meaning of your sales development of products. There is wastage of money. So you should keep in mind that when you are running in a race, you should be first or second. There is no point of working in the last position. So next, how much budget is required when you are developing the product is a very important point, because management will ask how much you require for development and how you are utilized. So you allow some budget, 1 crore, 10 crores, whatever it may be, depend upon the products. They should be kept in mind. Then return of investment. Once you develop, then how much return you are expecting from first year, second year, third year is going to be increase the market sale, or it's going to be decrease in the market sale. Then what is the therapeutic product? It's the anti-cancer drug, it's the hormonal drugs, just like in a corona. Now we are working on some of the corona drug products. So we know that if we are developing these products, corona, it will be good cost. That's just like a remdesivir. People are getting a golden amount of this, and just like a heterodox, Cipla, they are getting a very, very good amount, and then it's very high enough because they are able to crack this remdesivir. Now is high in a demand. Next is where you are going to file this product. Is in US? Yes. If you are in Europe, yes. If it is India, domestic, okay. Why it is required? How much you require? And India is very good market. So when you are selecting the product, geography is very much important. Next is what is the regulatory strategy when you are developing the product? What's your strategy? Whether it's the NDA products or it's the ANDA products. When you got NDA in a generic, it's a 505(b)(2). Means if there is any 505(a) is there, means NDA is there, you can hybrid this drug by keeping some changes, keeping some dosage form, something changes, and you need to file under the 505(b)(2). You will get this exclusivity of 180 days where nobody will competitor for you. So 180 days, you are the monopoly for selling of this product, for the specifically in US. And if you are ANDAs, it's your purely generic drugs. Next is NC-1. What I previously told you, NC-1 means you can get the exclusivity for the 4 years, 5 years to 5. Next is what type of para strategy means para 1, para 2, para 3, or para 4. When you are seeing the para 1, there is no patent. You can develop the product anytime, you can file anytime. Para 2, it means that there is a patent, but it is expired one, just like amphotericin liposome. 23 years, triamcinolone, 23 years, 25 years is already expired the patent. You can file anytime. There is no concern for you. Para 3 means patent are there. You will file the product, but approval can be acceptable unless until there is an expiration of the patent. Means you can say it's a tentative approval. You can file the product, review can be getting, but you can launch the product only after the expiry of the patent. And fourth one is your para 4, where you can say is the patent is invalid. You can say that what I am developing, it's not under the scope of patent. That's why I am invalid the patent. There is no infringement of any patent, so we can give approval for me, and depend upon the evaluations. You can notify to the brand. This is the department now. Last 4, 5 years, 10 years came in a picture in a generic. There is a project management. There is a team who is handling the projects only for to getting this activity to be done. That's a delivery time point. So project management is one of the good for the entering the industrial market. So what they will do, the project management team will do defining the project objective of this project, determination various tasks to the perform, and define the timeline for each task in the development, determination of the critical chain, and budget and resources allocation. So these are the activities or agenda for this project management team. They are involved in your day-to-day activity. They will help you out to complete this activity. They will help you out to connect the people by arranging the telecons, video conference, all these things, and they will do for the delivery on-time delivery or scheduling of your drug. Next, what is the steps is involved in the generic product development? So we'll see which are the steps you require. Once you identify the drugs, you identify the project management team, then what is your next? You need to see what is the development activity. So selection of drug product for the development is the BD, the business development team. API availability should be taken care by the SCM, that you can say as a sourcing team. Then literature search and patent landscape will be done by the formulation development from the my department, like that. Product development strategy from the formulation development, again there you can identify. So there is some strategy, just like a quality by design, DOE. These are some software you can utilize for the development of generic drugs. So you can prepare the strategy based upon your past experience or pre-formulation studies. You are generating some data, then you are identify which are the risks during development, then your mitigation of your risk by the some experimental data. You can say this is not required, this is required, this has to be monitored. All these things will come in a picture, that quality by design. And lastly, risk assessment. What are the risks you identified, how you assess, and what is the control strategy required? So these are the part of your quality by design. And DOE means there is some experimental study with the help of software you are defining, and you can develop your products. Then what is the patent is available, and what is the prototype format that should be evaluated by the IPM team, you can say intellectual property management team. And next is regulatory department, where they are filing your products under which category, which 505(b)(2), ANDA, whatever it may be, he will be identified. And next is analytical team, where you can say once you develop any products, we will go for the analytical method development, then method validations and method transfer will come from. Because once you develop, you should be identify your chemical parameters or physical parameters, like what is the impurity, what is the assay, we can say purity, all these things come in a picture, which will be done by this analytical method development team. Now we'll come to the formulation development team, where I am the expertise in my area. What the formulation team will do, or what I will do. So I will do a literature search, I will do a patent landscape, I will do innovator characterization or brand characterization. Then I will define my regulatory filing or buyer strategy, what will be do, how I am going to be develop these products. Then what will be my QBD or DOE strategy, and I will start my pre-formulation study. And based upon the pre-formulation, I will start my bench scale study, lab scale study with the different batch size and initial development, and that sample I will go for the analytical team for their method development. Once the method development done, I will freeze my formula. I will load some stability samples, which is bigger batch size. I will load on the stability as per the storage condition, that like long term and accelerated condition. And evaluation of 2 to 3 months or 6 months, I will go for the plant batches. You can say plant feasibility batches, where I will take bigger the batch size of my development team, and I will go for the evaluation of products, and depend upon that and that data, will go for the validation batches, or you can say submission batches. So when there is you can say the submission batches or validation, there is some criteria for the selection of the batch size. Then I will say in a liquid dosage form, it should be at least minimum 50-liter batch size. Okay, and if you don't want to take the 50-liter batch size, there is some criteria. If your commercial batch size is 20 liters, you can take the 20 liters. You can't take less than that. But if you want to increase in tomorrow 20 liter to 50 liter, you have to take it again the validation batches, because you taken a 20-liter batch size, because standard is a 50-liter batch size. In a tablet dosage form, you can say is the 1 lakh is tablet is the batch size for the submission. If you want to take less than 1 lakh, then it should be 100% of your commercial batch size. Or in a standard, you can say 1/4 of your commercial batch size is my. If I want to take a 200 liter is a liquid is a injection is my commercial batch size, minimum I should be take at the 50-liter batch size. If you want to take a less than that, it should be 100% of commercial batch size. So this is the criteria from the formulation development process. And once you develop this product, once you taken all these things in as per regulatory market, you develop a data, you generate a data, all these in one dossier, you can say is a product development report you prepared, and then you can go for the filing. So how to filing and where to file? For example, we'll take as a regulatory filing just like USA. So there is a FDA, where FDA is a regulatory authority for the generic development for the USA. So there is one office called as Office of Generic Drug. You can say OIG is responsible for the processing and approving of the NDA or ANDA. And once you file, they will review your dossier as per their checklist. They will evaluate it, and you can say that there is a screening method. Based upon initial screening, they will go for your questionnaire to you, or it may be if they don't find as per the checklist, you can reject the dossier. You can say RTR. So when you are rejecting, you will lose your development, and you need to update or file your product. So there is some screening test. After that, they will if it is fine as per their checklist, they will completely review. And then once they review, below section or there is some criteria for the selection. First is plant inspection report. Now you can say 483, or there is a USFDA inspection. You may be heard in your future. So there is a plant inspection where your manufacturing batches, how is the quality wise, GMP wise. If it is fine, it's okay. There is a report. You can go ahead. Next is chemistry and microbiology review. So how you are developing all the PDRs in chemical picture, they will review. And third is labeling, and fourth is your bioequivalence. If all these criteria is acceptable, they will go for your approval for the process. When they are reviewing, there may be certain questions for you also. There may be some deficiencies in your dossier. So that's the called as deficiency in USFDA. So initially, once you file this product, they will review screening test within 45 days of your screening, and you will get to some discriminatory deficiency. And based upon that, they will be bolded that up to what time they will approve your product. It may be 1 year, 1.5 years, or 8 months. Generally, goal date will be 8 months. And again, it can be increased based upon your deficiencies. Next is information request. They, based upon the initial evaluation, they will give some information request or information they required. It may not be that much extensive study. It's just for information. You can be replied to that within 30 days. Most of the time, it's 30 days. And second is complete response. Once they completely review, they will go CR letter, where you will get a nearly 1 year timeline to response to that. And once you responded, they will go again. The goal date, minor goal date will be 3 months, and major goal date will be 6 months. Based upon that, and they will review and they for the approval. Once they find everything is fine, then they will give the tentative approval in provided in time frame to launch the product in a head of approval. Or if the patented litigation is in process, the approval will be held for 30 months. If you file that there is a para 4 filing and innovator say that no, it can be infringing, if there is some concern in my patent, they will sue you, they will in the court for the, and your product will be stay for the approval for the 30 months. And based upon this all regulatory approvals, you can go for the launch, and that's you called as a generic product got a approval in a regulatory market, and you can launch this product in your market. So this is all about your generic development for the different countries. Now, when I'm saying as the development and all your students are there, which are maybe interested in the generics market, or which may be interested thinking about the industry or academics. So basically, I'm from the industry, and I was in academics previously also. So I need to say what is the opportunity in India specifically. And I'm talking about the opportunity. So in a generic market, I will say, because India is most of the generic, 90% generic market. We are not doing that much extensive in a branded one, because there is a cost, patient, and our Indian mentality, so that so difficult. So mostly we are in a generic market. When I'm saying is the opportunity in Indian pharmaceutical market, there is some advantage in India, like a cost efficacy, because the low cost of production and R&D cost, the resources is available in lower in the cost, because our salary is not that much equivalent to the US. So the manpower is available in a lower cost, and then high economic growth. Now in India, if you see, there is an increase in the growth of pharmaceutical market, because a lot of colleges are there. When you are thinking about the 15 years, 20 years back, we don't see that much college. I know that when I came to JKK Nataraja, it was a first batch for me. So we started the MPharm. So now if you see after that much years, we'll see in the market that how much MPharm colleges are. So there is a skilled person available in India, which is very high in the numbers compared to other countries. So that's the reason we are having a more number of manpower. So there is a more number of utilization of manpower. So there is a growth will be always be there. Then support from the government. Now the Make in India, all these things is come in a picture. So you will get it. The more opportunity, policies, government support to start your business. So if they start any industry, you will get a job definitely. So that's a more advantage for them. And definitely because due to FDI, you will get more funding for the investment to start up your products development, all these things. You will get an opportunity in the India market. So market size, when you are competing in India in 2015, it shows is 15 USD million is the market size or Indian revenue from the pharma, which is in 4 years is 25% increase from 15 USD million to 20 USD million. So 25% growth we saw in a recent 4 years. So if you see, in next 4 to 5 years, it's going to be quite double. So there is a lot of opportunities in the India market if you are thinking about go for the industry. And next, there is a export. If you see in 2016, the export value of Indian pharmaceutical drug was just 16 to 17 USD billion. Okay, which is increased by the 20 to 25% in 2020 is close to 20 USD billion. And government exposure, because when you are thinking about this is all about the export market, but when you are thinking about the India market, now due to government policies, which is saying about the health improvement, now people are, due to this corona, people are thinking about the, okay, if I don't have insurance, how it will be. If I having insurance, I will not be trouble about my hospitalization cases. So there is a growth in the health increases. So that's, if you see in a 2016, the expenditure in the health sector was nearly 20 to 25 USD billion, which is increase or it is double in 2020. So people are more cautious about the health. They are investing in the health. So they are giving insurance, all these things. So when there is insurance, you are having safety, you can go for the treatment. If you are go for the treatment, there is a requirement of medicines. When there is a requirement of medicine, there is an increase in your production of your regulatory market or generic market, and ultimately your sale will be increases. Sale will be increases. The people who are working in this is getting the benefit. So that's, we need to. It's a cycle. Basically, it depends on each and everything. Once you are in a pharmaceutical industry, there you need to see the growth. So I believe that there is a high number of growth for the people who are interested in the industries, generic industry in India. But you should be sincere and you should be having some vision where you want to join, how you want to be, what is your current role, what is your experience, and what is your expectation, where you are thinking from year to the next 5 years, where I should be there. So your vision should be very important, and your interest, responsibilities. When I say, because I am handling 4 to 5 people under me, I need to see that which people are having interested. If they don't have interested, then I am not be in a position to entertain such type of people. And I need to see how much responsible. Failure is acceptable, but multiple failures will not be acceptable, because we are in the industry where we are in a generic. We need to be a time consuming, we may be a cost consuming, all this we need to be in the favor. So that is very important for us. So when we are in industries, we should be having more than responsible. 200 times should be responsible and answerable. So measurement will be there. So when you are thinking about the joining of any pharmaceutical industry in India specifically, you should be keep in mind, you should be responsible and you should be answerable for each and everything. You will get it reward. If you are doing a hard work, you will get it reward. But for that, you need to be spend some time for the work. So I hope that's from my side. If anything additionally you require, just let me know, sir. I will try to cover in that. Hello.
Sir, audible, sir. Audible, sir. Audible, sir.
Audible.
So any questions or anything we maybe I miss some. If you want to be any additional important, just let me know. I will try to cover it.
Rekha madam, any questions? Rekha madam.
I hope everybody is maybe understand, or maybe
Yes,
nobody
yes,
is.
yes.
Yeah.
Amit, it's completed topic.
Yeah, sir.
Okay,
Amit,
okay. How are
principal
you?
sir is speaking.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I'm Dr. Sambat Kumar, principal.
Hi, sir. How are you, sir?
Fine, fine. So it's a topic over now.
Yeah, sir. Fine.
Okay. Any questions are there, Lekha madam?
Sir, no question, sir.
Uh-huh. So some people are there, YouTube, they can ask any question.
Right, sir. No issues, sir.
Faculty members.
There is no questions in Slido, sir.
Okay, then we can proceed. What are thanks?
Sir, one question is there, Mr. Amit.
Yeah.
By our PharmD student Mohammad Gaderi,
Right.
what standard generic products should obtain to be approved by FDA?
Can you repeat the question, sir?
What generic products should obtain to be approved by FDA?
I didn't get exactly the what he want to ask the questions, Miss.
Mohammad Gadari, you can ask.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I want to know exactly which standard should be followed by that generic product to obtain FDA approved. For FDA approved, which standard that generic name should be obtained, should be followed.
So you, if I'm not wrong, you mean to ask that what is the procedure to product approval in the generic market, or what exactly?
Yes. How they can approve for FDA for general market?
Yeah, so that's I told, when you're going for the generic, what type of filing strategy you are adopting and what type of dosage form you are selecting. So there is some checklist for the FDA or US FDA. Okay, when you are saying a generic, so there is some checklist. So in line with that, once you develop your product, you can file this product in a FDA site, and there is some dossier submissions, and they will evaluate your dossiers, your product development report, and based upon that, either they may be rejected if it is not as per their checklist, or if there is something questionable, then can raise their deficiencies in a different criteria, just like IR and CR, and if you are completing all their requirement, definitely they will go for the approval, and you can launch for this product. Maybe I may be answerable to you.
Yes, and in India, the same procedure is there or differs from US?
Pardon?
In India, also same procedure or differs from US?
Yeah, definitely. There may be different criteria, but in India also, if you are going for any new drug development or ANDA development in DCGI, because in India it's a DCGI, you need to first go for the licensing for the development. Then you can generate a data. At least in US there is a 6-month requirement, but in India it's a 3-month requirement. If you are having the 3 batches of submission and development, and if you are having a 3-month data, you can submit your dossier to DCGI. They will evaluate your quality parameters. Based upon that, they will go for the launching approval for you. Different country, different criteria is there, but in a broad, you can say it's nearly same for that. Small variation definitely will be there, but most of the time it will be same.
Okay, sir. Very thank you, sir.
Yeah, welcome.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Amit. Any other questions? Okay, now I welcome Mrs. B. Jayalakshmi to propose vote of thanks. Madam?
Thank you, sir. Audible, sir? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
It is my honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks today. First of all, on behalf of our principal, sir, vice principal, sir, and the faculties of JKK NCP, I would like to thank our management and the dynamic and enthusiastic director, sir, for encouraging us to conduct the webinars in a successful manner. Thank you, madam and sir. And on behalf of Department of Pharmaceutical Chemistry, I thank our beloved principal, sir, Dr. R. Sambat Kumar, and vice principal, sir, Dr. Sundaram, for their constant encouragement and moral support to conduct the webinars. I feel proud and privileged to thank the today's speaker, Mr. Amit Bukavar, Assistant General Manager, Complex Injectable Development, MESN Laboratories Private Limited, R&D Center, Sangareddy District, Telangana. And sir's speech was very encouraging and pathfinding for the students. And I hope our students gain the knowledge about generic product development, patenting of generic products, and approval process regarding. And it will be very useful for them in their future. And I express our cordial thanks to the speaker for spending the valuable time with us. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
And an honorable thanks to the valuable support for the Zoom platform from IPA. And the cordial thanks to Mr. TV Narayana and Mr. Sheshayi for providing the Zoom platform for conducting the webinar in successful manner. And without the technical support, we cannot carry out the webinars in online. I would like to thank Dr. Venkateshwara Murthy, HOD Department of Pharmacy Practice, and Mr. Kannan, Assistant Professor, Department of Pharmaceutics, for their endless technical support and cooperation to carry out the webinar in successful manner. And also I thank the HODs of various departments and faculty members of JKK NCP for their active participation. And last but not least, I thank our students for their enthusiastic participation in this webinar. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Amit.
Yeah, sir, I said thanks to
Because I joined 5 minutes late, around 11:05 only I joined.
no, sir.
Okay, I can't able to welcome you in the starting.
No, yes, sir.
I am happy, and also you have regular contact with our faculty members.
Right,
So
sir.
future we need your contact and help for our students and our institution for further development.
It's my
So,
privilege, sir, if I'm
yes,
able to
yes.
help you any of the
Yes,
case
yes.
in this. Yeah.
Because we have so many alumni